All right, N.O.G.A.S, episode 11. We're here at Concrete Beach Brewery in Wynwood, and we're joined today by JC as usual, Ruthie Park, Chico, and Eric, the brewer. What's up, Eric?
Hey, thanks for having me, or thanks for coming, right?
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for the invite, man.
Yeah,
this is great.
anytime, yeah.
Super excited. I was a little nervous today. Number one, being around so much beer. Just
Right.
like heaven. How did you get into the brewery game?
A lot of luck. You know, I was a biology major in college,
Okay.
and I was going to be a dentist, but I had a little like I was like, no, I don't want to be I started interning. I was like, maybe I don't want to be a dentist, and
Right.
But I already had the degree in biology, so like maybe I'll wait for a year and figure out what I want to do. And so I started working in a milk factory.
Wow.
In a laboratory.
Milking
milk
cows
factory.
or?
Right.
No. It's like the milk would come already like in a tanker, and then we put it. You made 1%, 2%, and you make yogurt, Greek yogurt, sour cream, all that there.
Fancy stuff.
And we just put in. They had just put in a new line and everything like that, but. I hated that too, and so but I learned how to do like big production and things like that, and run a facility, and so.
Who'd you learn from, Mr. Walter White?
Yeah.
I mean, look at all this equipment. How did you even get into this? As far as
it was a lot from that, because it was a lot from that, knowing how everything has to be clean, especially with like food and the FDA and everything like that. It's like everything has to be clean, and brewing is the exact same thing. It has to be exactly clean, and it's kind of the opposite. Brewing has to ferment cold, and yogurt has to ferment hot. So it was kind of like just switching a few kind of practices, and so learning from there. And then also I learned at home for a while, and I got lucky that there was a brewery in Los Angeles that that was looking for someone that didn't have experience, and then I just kind of took it and ran with it.
I mean, how much experience do you need with this? Like, you like beer? Check.
Yeah, it's definitely getting more competitive now, and it's so you have usually you look for someone that at least has some science experience or brewing experience or industry experience.
Nice.
A little bit of food knowledge is great too, but mostly it's just if you're willing to get dirty and keep everything clean.
Yeah, it seems like to be a biologist in brewing and all that, you don't really have enough time to do trial and error, because after the first couple beers that you try to test, I mean, are you still coherent?
No, yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah, you keep it. Our tasting panels keep it together. Like you're only having a little bit, but you're having enough to kind of figure out like what's going on with the beer, and you're not like overloading it. You're just doing a little bit here, a little bit there.
And where might one go to apply to be on the testing panel?
A testing panel.
Right. Yeah. That's job.
Working in a brewery is a good way. But we pull from everybody. We pull from our brewing staff, but we also pull from our front of house. Our social hall staff, because they know our beers too. They all drink our beers, and they'll be the ones to be like, oh, hey, something's a little off with this one. And they'll be like, oh yeah, you're right, there's something off. But we do it internally. Sometimes our customers are like, this is different. We have one guy here. He only drinks Moss hops. It's our double IPA.
Okay.
And that's all he drinks.
Is that one?
He drinks
one of these
it.
here?
It's not in front. We're not canning it yet.
Okay.
We might can it, but we're not doing it yet. But. It's one of our most popular beers to sell here at the social hall, but he always drinks it. And then we made a small tweak to it with its fermentation profile.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, I don't think we knew it was going to happen, and we were like, okay, I don't think anybody's going to figure it out. The first day it's on tap, he comes up and he goes, this is different, and we're like, oh, all right, well, yeah. That was the point. Yeah. But we everything that we do, because these beers, you keep tweaking too to make sure that you want it to always taste the way you originally had it, and so you tweak with each fermentation, and you also want to make it better.
Right.
Look how cool the cans are too.
So,
I love the artwork.
So this is actually a mural that's on the side of our building that we're losing the mural because they're putting a condo next door.
Yes,
and so that's going next door. So we're like, well, this is a beautiful mural. Like, how are we gonna keep it and like honor it? And so.
Is there a mural
we put it on the can.
every one of the cans?
No, just the deck the walls. This was done by an artist called Fluke, and he's actually doing our side wall for Art Basel right now.
And this is the main one that you guys promote too, right?
No, this is our specialty release. So this is specialty release. We do a specialty can series, and we have a main can series, which is the Tangerica, the Havana, and the Stiltsville.
But the artist has to compete to be the.
This year we did that.
Okay.
This year, the first year we had Fluke because we already knew what we wanted. We were like, this is the mural, like this is what we want. Yeah. This year we had for our Deck the Walls kind of block party. We have a block party every year, and we shut down the street, and we have a big kind of event. We debut the beer, Deck the Walls. And now this year we decided, well, how about we keep doing this art theme on each can, but now we have an artist compete to do it. So we had an artist, and she
That's a
won.
good
and she
idea.
competed.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
now she's going to be on the cans for next year.
Nice. Matter of fact, you know what? I might send you a picture of Ruthie that we took. Maybe she could be on one of the cans. And she doesn't even drink.
Face
That's,
everywhere.
No, you
Like,
don't
I don't even
drink.
drink beer. But that would be nice.
That'd be
but
ironic.
tonight
It'd be
you
most
are.
ironic.
Do you actually put like the artist's name on the mural?
This one for this we do. So for this one we we have a little
Oh, yeah,
a little
the-
biography
oh,
for the
that's
artist
awesome.
for these ones. Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, no, tonight, Ruthie, you're going to take a sip of something. A little something. And,
It'd be rude
I'm
not
gonna
to.
try-
It'd be rude to
I'm
come
gonna
into my
try a
house
little
and not
bit.
have
Yeah,
a beer.
that's
you know?
true. That's true.
yeah, all right,
Not gonna
so
hurt.
Right.
this is awesome. I love that too. So that way you kind of integrated all the Miami aspects of it
Right.
together, because this is a very Wynwood style
True.
Yeah.
company and beer and just flavor, and I love all
Yeah, well that's what we try to do with all the beers that we make, is that we try to pull from our neighborhood, pull
Yeah.
from the neighborhood and see what's going on in the neighborhood and keep it, it's like kind of what are people kind of going to connect to here, and that's
Yeah.
what because that's what we connect to here. When we started construction here,
What year?
If 2000 we started in 2013, but
Okay.
it's Miami. And
Right.
so it didn't open up until late 2013, like late. I mean, and going into 2014.
Yeah, and you come from
I'm sorry.
LA.
I'm sorry. It didn't open until 2014. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Going into late 2014, going into 2015.
okay.
Sorry, I mixed up the
No,
years.
that's all right. Different here, time can be a little weird.
And so yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you come from LA.
I'm from LA originally.
Yeah.
I brewed there for a few years. I also brewed in New York City for a few years, and then now I'm here.
How you like the vibe down here?
Oh, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's different. It takes a little getting used to.
absolutely.
I got to get used to driving. Yeah, I remember I had to get used to driving again. Especially here.
Driving
It's-
here.
yeah,
Oh
right.
my God. I don't even want to talk about
It's
that.
like playing.
about it.
Yeah, it's like playing bumper cars.
It's bad. It's bad.
So there's a little bit of getting used to, but I really like it here. It has a great. The energy is just fantastic.
And do you take this back to LA to promote it, or any conventions or anything like that, or?
Right.
you
I mean,
stick
right
to
now,
downtown?
we stick to Miami. We go up to just south of Boca right now
Okay.
through our networks.
Nice.
That's just what we're making and what we're selling right now.
Yeah.
And but also there's no plans not to stop growing. But yeah, we're right here. We're comfortable in Miami. We're comfortable up in South Florida.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so yeah, for the live, we're gonna have a stand-up special today. Some stand-ups are coming by around 8 o'clock. What's the address here? 24.
325 Northwest 24th Street.
Yeah, come by and check out the stand-ups later. Have a good, nice little brew here. We're gonna try some stuff here. What do we got here?
So that's the Havana Lager. So
This is the Havana Lager?
that's our flagship. This is this one right here.
Yeah, give Ruthie
Yeah,
something.
there you go.
that she might
That's
like.
the
I got one.
flagship
I'll
right there.
drink it.
So that's
Let you go grab one.
This is
Yeah, you
I'm
have
good
it.
right now.
You-
Yeah.
you got your special
Yeah,
one.
I get the big one. I get the
Right.
big one.
Chico,
No.
You said it's called Havana?
It's called Havana Lager. So this is
Going down one
it's
by
a
one.
traditional Vienna style lager. So it has a bit of a malt backbone to it. What that means is that the grain is a little roasted in the back, and that's what you're gonna
Okay.
get, and that's what gives it like the brown color too behind it. Kind of gives
Yeah.
it. That's how you can kind of differentiate it between
Tasty.
other lagers like a pilsner.
No. Do you do like wine, or you go like this first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta do the whole thing here.
You
You gotta
gotta
do
do-
the whole thing. You gotta
smell
look
that
at it.
first.
Okay,
You gotta look at it first,
What's
you
the
know, because
problem?
you gotta see what you're gonna drink.
Uh-huh.
And then you bring it up
It's
to
gonna
your
get me
nose.
in jail later, right?
Yeah, right?
Lord.
And then
It smells good.
you smell it, you get the
It's
aroma,
good,
and then
though.
the best thing about beer is it's not wine. You don't have to spit it out. You gotta
Yeah.
drink it.
I never
You
even
have,
spit the
you have
wine out.
to drink
I've
it
never
to
even
get the
spit
full
it out.
experience. Then you take a sip.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And so this kind of is also a little bit reminiscent of the old kind of there was a lot of and especially in Cuba, but like in South in Mexico and a little bit Central America, there was a boom of a little bit of kind of these style of lagers,
Right.
but mainly before the revolution in Cuba.
Okay.
And then that's before they kicked out most of the alcohol production.
Gotcha.
And so this kind of brings that back.
So that's all right. That's your whole premise behind the
Right.
Havana lager right here. That's awesome. You definitely did your homework as soon as you
Right.
stepped foot in Miami.
Well, I've had family here my whole life. And
Oh, you
so,
did?
yeah. So
Okay.
my dad is my dad's family's Cuban. They came here just after the revolution, and my grandfather came here and with my dad and his whole family. And he steps foot and he goes, "Well, this is the exact same thing. This is Cuba
Okay.
in America. I want to go to America and try something new."
North,
And so,
this is North Cuba.
this is North Cuba, and so it was like a few months later, and we moved to he took the family to LA,
Okay.
and that's how I ended up in LA. And then
LA,
so,
that's
but we
awesome.
have a lot of family here, and so I've been here, and
You know the
it's
history.
been
and all
yeah,
that.
exactly, yeah.
Okay. All right. Now Natalie, the manager here, she explicitly warned us to keep
Yeah.
it PG, kind of.
Right.
But I have to ask you, how much tail do you get by owning a brewery?
Right. No, I'm
Dude,
too
be
busy.
honest.
You're too busy. You
Are
know?
you,
Yeah.
you look like you just wake out of bed and come straight to work and brew.
Oh,
busy
I mean that's what you
getting
do.
tails, it
You
is.
get up, but it's a whole day thing, because you're making beer, then you're writing recipes, then you're dealing with
Absolutely.
shipping it, distributing it, and it's a whole process, and it takes a whole team. And so we have a whole team here. We have a great team
Great
here,
team.
and a great team of brewers. Front of house, marketing, the social hall team. We all kind of it looks very fun, but it also can be extremely exhausting. But it's a lot of
Absolutely.
fun at the end
It's
of the
a lot of
day.
work.
Yeah.
Where when you guys
Yeah.
will come and you drink it and you like it, that's
Yeah.
a rewarding experience. That's
Yeah,
something that
that's
we
true.
look for.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is a full-time job. Yeah.
It goes to something I heard the other day. Vocation is my vacation.
Right.
And
yeah.
that's like pretty much the
Yeah.
life. You're doing what you love to do.
Yeah,
Brewing,
yeah.
drinking,
Yeah, especially like these days, it's hard to find a job that you like and you can keep and it will
Yeah.
pay the bills.
Or that keeps
you know?
me. I always get
That's for
fired.
sure.
Right. yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and
Here, it seems cool,
You
yeah.
know, it's like that perfect blend of like science and art, and so it keeps me going.
Absolutely. And you import the hops. This hops or this green?
Those are hops, yeah. So they look like these aren't. This isn't what hops look like. This is how we get them because hops are whole leaves. They're about this big,
Okay.
and they're leaves. They look like pine trees. I mean, maybe like just like kind of bushes,
All right.
like that, about that long.
Looks like dog
and
food.
but they're not. It's not very efficient for us to use them in that form. They kind of get to once they get beer on them,
Yeah.
they soak up and they expand, and it's hard to filter them out. And so this is that leaf, but just crushed and pelletized.
Cool.
So it's more efficient for us to use. So we have them here so people can smell them. Actually, if you guys want to smell them too.
What happens if you eat one? It's edible?
It is
Oh,
edible.
it
I mean, you're
smells
drinking
strong,
it.
though.
It is edible.
Oh, my
yeah, you got
Lord.
yeah. And what's funny is that one time we were giving a tour and we had them in smaller cups. And this guy, I think he had a couple too many. And we're like, oh yeah, so this is in every beer. And he goes, oh, it's in every beer, and it's in a smaller cup. It's like in this bunch.
Right.
And he just goes and just eats the whole cup.
Jesus.
And it's kind of like the cinnamon challenge. Like, have you ever tried that? Where
Oh my
you just
God,
I've
can't-
seen it,
yeah,
yeah, I've seen
that's what it's like
I'll
to
do
eat
that.
that many. And so he just kind of went, and like like a puff of hops
So
came
what
out.
happened
yeah.
after he ate all of that?
He had to leave. He was like,
Yeah, this looked like
Yeah.
dog food, honestly.
yeah, it's, yeah. People call it rabbit food a
I
little
can't.
bit. Yeah,
It does,
And
honestly does.
But yeah, this is the most efficient way that we can use it. And so this is why it looks like this, and this is
Right,
why
right.
and it's
Whatever you
it's
gotta
completely
do.
the same thing, just
True.
crushed.
And then
Yeah.
those are wheat?
This is so the main ingredient. Well, there's 4 main ingredients, but the one that gives you color, most flavor, is barley, and that's what this is. This is what starts beer.
Barley.
And the
Yeah.
reason that you want barley is because it has. You can smell that too. Actually, it smells.
Barley
this smells a
is
lot
good.
better than
Barley
yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
Like-
And so it's a roast. What they do is they kind of roast. They let it germinate, let it start to grow, but then they stop it and they roast it for a minute. That's
Okay.
why it's a little caramelized, and that's what gives beer its color. So like if you have a light beer, this is just
Right.
this is just straight barley, but if you have the
But
Vienna
it's
lager,
more for the color, or
it's color and flavor, so it
Okay.
helps with both.
Right.
And also, but the most important reason that you want barley is because that's how the alcohol is made.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
barley has the sugars and the carbohydrates that the yeast will eat later on. And then when they eat those carbohydrates,
Right.
they produce 2 things: CO2, carbonation, and alcohol. And so, yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot of information.
It really
Right?
is.
I'm just
Are you falling
like,
asleep? No.
all I know is that I don't know that much about
Yeah.
barley, but barley tea is good.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Barley tea's
and the reason why barley is the most important is because it has the right enzymes to make those sugars
Right.
edible for the yeast.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and it also tastes great. So.
Yeah, you just made me feel real dumb.
Yeah.
No.
Just like,
Yeah.
wait.
This is like beer Wikipedia.
Right?
Right,
Just a
right,
little
right.
bit. If it gets too boring, just let me know.
No,
This
it's
is
all
very
fascinating
interesting. Like, I
stuff.
never knew that about beer.
Yeah, I seen machines that they sell like at
Yeah.
Kohl's and stuff about brewing your own beer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they make it look so easy, but this
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
seem
I mean,
easy at all.
those machines set it up to be easy in a way that kind of they do a lot of the work for you. Like they know that if you put in they already can tell you what ingredients to put in there.
Yeah, like a Keurig for beer.
Yeah, a little bit,
Like,
kind
yeah.
of. But those are fun too, because you can say you made your own beer and that's how a lot of people
Right.
get into it. That's how I
Yeah.
started. Not with that. I started with a bucket and a igloo cooler in my apartment building.
It sounds like what they
so-
the swine that they make
Right.
in jail.
Right,
like the
that's
liquor.
that's what the jokes were when I started, and so with all my friends,
Hide
they
it
were
under
like,
your bed, huh?
"Yeah, they're like, what are you making, toilet wine?" I was like, "No, I'm making beer. Like, trust me." And then then they started to like it, and then they're like, "Oh, okay,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
maybe he can,
Yeah.
maybe he can do this."
Okay,
Like,
so what makes your beer so special? Is there
it's brewed with love. No.
love? Oh, never heard that one before.
No, it may I guess the reason our beer is probably special, I guess,
Right.
is that we really take the time to get the best ingredients. We have the best sourcing team
Right.
that we have, and we constantly try to improve our beers. We have a laboratory right there,
Right.
and that's where we analyze our beers,
massive.
and we are not afraid to put not afraid to put ingredients that you wouldn't expect to have beer
Right. You
in
just
beer.
test it out.
Right,
you know?
and try it out.
Yeah.
We did a key lime hibiscus goza. We've
Sounds
done one of our, and we also kind of keep it within our team, and our team creates great beers
Right.
too. They're great beer ideas. One of our social hall employees, and she also helps out in the back when we can.
Mm-hmm.
She came up with she's Peruvian. She came up with an idea for a chicha pale ale, because chicha is a Peruvian drink.
Yeah, that's
What did
true.
she put in there?
Cheese
No,
is
so
good.
yeah, I know it sounds bad, but no. All we did was we brewed it with Peruvian purple corn, and so we kind of cheated a little bit, but we brewed it with Peruvian purple corn. And so
Right.
we are not afraid to be flexible and trying to create new brews that way.
Honestly, that sounds
yeah.
so good. Like
It's on
the
tap.
chicha
Yeah,
drink is
it's on
really
tap
good.
right now, and it's extremely good beer.
Oh,
and
okay.
and we're not worried about we're not worried about making the cheapest easiest beer. We want to make
Right.
the best.
You want to
beer.
make quality
right,
beer.
mhm, right.
Way to go.
Anna,
Right.
what's up? Anna, try one of these beers. Let's get another one that a girl would
Yeah.
like.
Right. Oh,
Anna drinks. You
these
drink,
beers are
right?
for everybody.
Yeah,
These,
come on,
right?
come on.
Yeah.
She's one of those
see.
cool alcoholics.
Oh,
Because I
here,
can't really
try
drink
that.
right now. Come, pull up.
Here,
What
try
is that
This
one
is our
called?
Stiltsville Pilsner. So this is our
Get us
our flagship Pilsner. It's a little bit different than a regular Pilsner. It's a little hoppier to kind of try and try and give it some uniqueness. We use some American
This
and New
one's
Zealand
hoppier?
hops. So that's a little hoppier than a traditional Pilsner. It's
Okay,
definitely
what's this
hoppier
called?
than the Havana Lager. That's the Stiltsville Pilsner.
Still feel okay.
So
Cheers.
that's named after Stiltsville. So,
All right, yeah, welcome. Thanks for coming. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Ruthie, did you try something?
Yeah, I tried this one, the one we all tried
the
together.
Havana.
Okay. You
That
know,
one was
Ruthie's
good.
Asian. She doesn't even like sake. I try to get her to drink
Sake's
flavored
Japanese,
sake.
first of all.
I'm Asian.
Listen,
Alligator, crocodile.
Listen, we about to have a discussion about this.
I'm so ignorant. I always
Right.
ask her some
Wait,
ignorant
what are
Asian
you
questions.
again? What are you again?
Who knows?
Exactly.
I'm second generation
Y'all are the
American, I
same.
guess. Yeah, exactly. Mexican, they call us.
Mexican and they're all the same,
Puerto
right?
Rican
That's
Mexican.
what
That's what they call us. So you're Cuban, and in LA,
Yeah,
did they
half.
mistake you?
Yeah, my mom's white. Yeah.
White. Okay, your mom's white, and your dad's Cuban. And you guys moved to LA. Why exactly? Like.
Well,
just,
I was born in LA.
Oh,
So
all right.
yeah, my mom met my dad in LA, and so yeah, I was born in LA they moved to LA because of that story, because my grandfather, he was like, I'm not staying in Miami, and so
Right.
he
okay.
wanted to experience a different part of America.
How you like LA, man? Because I'm trying to move out there. You moved.
Oh no, I loved LA. The weather is weather's nice there, weather's nice
Yeah.
here, but it's something a little. It's kind of like. It's like it's like 4 cities within a city, and it's really nice.
And as
to
far
kinda
as what,
grow
like
up that
Bloods
way.
and Crips and
No.
Right.
No, it's funny because I don't know, just the way it got spread out so quickly. It's huge. Here 6 miles is forever, but there that's a commute. That's normal.
Right.
And it just the way it got spread out, the way it got kind of its own unique vibe from each area. The beach has its own area, downtown has its own area. There's a place called Midtown that's completely different from both of those. Then there's
Okay.
then there's the Valley, which is where I grew up, which is like suburbia. but
That's for
also,
those girls that
yeah.
talk with that vocal
Oh
fry,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That's where it came from. Yeah.
That's where. Yeah, exactly where it came
yeah,
from.
yeah. But no, it was a great place to grow up. It kind of I'm a city guy, so
Yeah.
and it's I loved it there.
That's what's up. That's cool, man. When you were in your room brewing,
Yeah.
like,
I didn't do it all in my room. It was in the
You know?
kitchen.
oh, in the kitchen, all
Just
right.
imagine that.
Yeah, right.
Messing up the pots in the kitchen.
Right,
and all that.
roommates are worried if I'm gonna dirty the place, lose our deposit.
I remember hearing this story from this girl I used to work with, that she was telling her girlfriend a story about a play that this guy had, that he make his own wine, and that's how he got her to his place. And ever
Really?
since then, I was like, man, and they made their own wine, and then
Yeah.
they after that.
Yeah.
Right, but like, man,
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
man, what a great play.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You
And
know,
then-
but I don't think he did it as like elaborate as you as far as like the hops and all that stuff.
Right,
Well,
you got all
the
what's the difference
details.
between the wine making and the beer making?
I mean, well, winemaking is just as intense. You know, the wine takes forever too. Wine takes about at least a year to make anything
Really?
decent.
Age that.
And if you start a winery, you're looking at least 10 years to create, because when you're doing that, you're not just growing the grapes. You're also, you're mashing them, you're fermenting them, you're filtering them out, and then you're aging them in barrels too. So that has its own kind of mystery, not mystery, but like just kind of its own
Process.
scientific method and
Right.
process, and just kind of passion behind it too. Like sommeliers are just an intense group of people,
Nice.
and but it's hard to compare because they're just so different. Where wine is just it has so much to beer and wine have so much involved, but also at the same time they're they are kind of they're compared by they're both being passionate about their trade, and so
Okay.
and it's for people that like beer and people that like wine too.
Yeah.
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 Anna, what do you think?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love
No
it.
pressure.
Give the
Okay, so
give it the connoisseur's type of critique.
favorite.
Switch it around.
She's using two hands too. Like,
I know. I'm really trying
Like
to
it's holy
feel.
water.
It has a little bit of like a tang almost, not like citrusy tang, but like I feel like it's like I'm not a beer connoisseur or anything, but it almost feels dark, but it's a light beer.
So the hops give it kind of like a little bit of like a dank flavor.
Yeah, there you go.
That's kind of gives it like, so we use 3 different kinds of hops in there,
Dank.
and so one of them is a piney hop, and so that kind of gives you that pininess, and so when it's mixed with citrus, it kind of gives that little kind of punch. in there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which one pairs best with weed, with real thing?
They all do. No.
Yeah, right. Damn right. Good answer.
I like the name too, Stiltsville.
Yeah. Did you
I
see
Yeah.
this? Did you see
Yeah.
all the-
Yeah.
Saw the whole
They
list.
use real artists from around here, so this is
Yeah.
like a real
Beautiful.
artist.
So that
Right.
deck the halls, deck the walls, and then
I'd save the bottle and put like a flower in it.
right.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. So, what's your next goal as far as like the level you want to try to reach the company?
Oh, I mean, just we just keep making great beer. And,
Awesome.
that's the thing is we want to keep making great beer, and if we grow, that's fantastic.
And
We
you
want to
would
grow.
would you like
but-
to franchise or go out? And
Oh no, I know.
you wanna
We're
keep it
yeah.
very local?
Keep it here.
Okay.
Keep it in Wynwood. Keep it
Yeah.
where keep it where.
Like,
the
if you
good-
want
yeah.
this beer, you gotta come to
Yeah.
Wynwood.
I mean, we want we already are up in Boca,
Right.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the brewery.
But keep it in
here.
Florida,
right?
you're
Keep
talking
keep
about.
it where we'll kind of keep it just where we can control it.
Right,
where we
right,
can
right.
see it, where we can see the
True.
beer, and so
Would you ever
where-
sell out for like $1 billion?
Right. I don't. It's it's funny because it's it's hard. Everybody says everybody has a price, but sometimes it's
Right.
it's like you spend your whole life working towards something, and somebody goes, well, here now you don't have to worry anymore.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a hard thing. To
It's
be
your
like,
baby.
Yeah, it's your baby too. You're like, oh man, like so that's probably one of the most conflicting things people have to go through.
But under the right circumstances and the right deal.
Yeah. No, I mean, it depends. Yeah,
Yeah?
it's always
it
everything
depends on
changes.
that.
But at the end of the day, is that I thought about actually something like where, like, what would I be doing if I wasn't doing this, and I
Yeah.
just couldn't think of anything. So.
Well, what would you be doing?
I'd probably just be sitting at home alone and just like,
Yeah, right.
like wondering how I could get back.
And just starting a
Thank you for
podcast
coming out,
about
brewing the
beer.
right? Yeah, just tap the microphone. Hey.
Yeah, exactly. Now you see how bored I am in my life. That this has been created. I don't even know how we're here, to be honest.
I know, that's
but like
crazy.
It just kind of kept going. And,
kept going. The hurricane happened, and I just didn't want to sit home.
Yeah.
I was so upset because I had a shoot planned and everything.
Yeah.
So I had some mics, and I said, let me just wait out the storm and doing something that I feel productive doing. So and then now we're here.
It's
Yeah,
persistency.
look at it.
You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
keep going.
Yeah, I got Ruthie here. We've interviewed a few great people, including yourself, and now we're getting some free sample beer and promoting each other as far as a community.
And that's the good thing. That's the good thing about Miami too, is that I didn't see in LA and New York as much. Like there was definitely like that brewing community in those places, but here in Miami, it really just feels like everybody knows everybody in the brewing community, and everybody is just kind of like, hey, what do you need? Like we lend out our ingredients, other people lend out their ingredients. Like, hey, we're short a bag. It's like, oh, I'll bring a bag
so
over. That kind of
awesome.
thing. Yeah.
right.
And that was something that was a big thing in the beginning of brewing, where people there was only one brewery one or two breweries in the city. Now it's kind of like hasn't gone away, but it's just kind of been like less involved. And now it's kind of feels like I'm back at that where it was, we're all new. Oh, this is great.
But it's growing so fast too. I've noticed so many local and in Florida, not only Miami. It's so great to see.
And that's a great thing too, is that Florida is open to it too, like especially Miami. Is that,
Natalie also threatened me if I mention any other local breweries. So let's segue out of this. Let's segue.
No, but we love all of our
all
of our other breweries. And they're great. They're great friends, and we try to be great friends to them too.
Of course. But at the end of the day, it's best beer type of competition. Let the audience and the beer drinkers decide.
Yeah, it's it's funny because there are competitions that rate the best beer, but it's never about the best beer. It's just the beer that it's the beer that you're the most proud of. But hopefully people want to drink it too, and if people want to drink it, then that's when you have a hit. It's like when you're not you can always say like this is the best one, but like if you think it's the best one and no one else does, then it's not the best one.
Right, exactly.
Well,
you identify
to your guests, the people who drink it. So
this one is the Havana, right?
That's the Havana.
Yeah, I already had the Havana.
We got a couple more. This is the Tangerica. This is the Tangerine IPA.
Stiltsville.
And then we have our Deck the Wall. Oh, we do have the Deck the Walls here. Excellent. So
this is good.
Yeah, this
you
is
like that one more?
We just switched.
This is
like
what's in the
lemony
can.
type of.
But you see the tang.
Yeah. That's
Which was that? Oh, that was the.
This is
Deck
what's in
Wall?
the can. I don't know if you guys want to try
Okay,
that.
yeah, I'm gonna try that one.
And if you guys want to try that Tangerine
that's
IPA.
okay.
Oh, I guess that is the Havana.
it's,
I got two.
something
Yeah,
else.
you drink two, right?
Smells so good.
As far as camaraderie around the community, it's really good to see that you're so open to doing stuff like this. We were talking earlier, or you mentioned earlier, that you do a few podcasts. That you did one in New York as well. And it's how important is that to be open to sharing a similar plateau with your community and fellow people trying to just chase their dreams, really.
Yeah.
Like, how important is that to you?
Like, so I've said this a few times, like to people that that ask me kind of that similar question. It's like breweries aren't breweries are businesses. They are social halls. They are production facilities, but they're also community centers, I think, too. And that's what was in the history of brewing. That's why that's what they were. Is that that's where you would go and you would meet with your community, your fellow members of your community. You would talk. You would hang out, and that's and that's why you see people like in a tap room, kind of bridging the gap, because it's not a bar, it's not a coffee shop, but it's just like this little in-between space where everybody can kind of meet, hang out for a bit, and try some, try to get, have the beers that they like to drink and have some good beers. And so that's kind of like what we go for, is that breweries are kind of their own little community centers.
Yeah, and you're really open about that as far as that being your outlook on every aspect of it, from helping to sharing to talking to everything.
Right,
That's great.
exactly. Yeah, and it's super important, especially, in this, in Wynwood it feels developed, but it's not, it's still very young as an area.
Yeah, very. It's definitely coming up. You have comedy night tonight.
Yes.
You do this every last Tuesday of every month?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that for? Like, as far as how many
We've
months?
been doing it for a few months now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other events have you tried to do? Concrete Beach, this is a beautiful spot, by the way.
Oh yeah.
If I haven't mentioned it already.
It's definitely not your bathroom anymore.
Right.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely not your room. You stepped it up. It looks like Walter White's headquarters here. And then over here, behind the glass, you have like people.
Yeah.
Right.
This is our social hall. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
I love the whole ambiance of it.
That's where we bring in those things. We bring in things like Havana Nights, which is like
What
where
else
we
is
have
there?
cigar rollers and
Nice.
Cuban music coming
that's
in.
nice.
And we did a plantain festival. We did the Deck the Walls. That's our kind of street closure.
Okay.
In February, I'm sorry, in January. At the end of January, we're going to be doing our Miami N.O.G.A.S, which is when we make a beer for that. So it's like a blend of kind of Carnival and Mardi Gras,
And
kind of
beads
the
and
same
stuff?
thing. Well, we can't do beads because you can't throw people. You can't like.
Show tits?
The city doesn't let you throw anything at people.
Okay,
it's
right, that too.
right. And
I'm trying my best.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
it slips out. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. What have you found is the best event so far, as far as people coming and showing up to it? Like, what's been the best, most popular one?
It was definitely, but it's probably a tie between our last Miami N.O.G.A.S and then this Deck the Walls. Is that it was where people came up, they participated in the art. contest to see for the new can.
Of course. Yeah, that's what I
and
was about to say. This is an awesome
the
That's
best thing
so
about this
nice.
deck the walls is that we actually now have neighbors here that all came and participated too. Like we have a whole new row of shops and restaurants that are either open or are opening soon, just right across the street.
Nice.
And so now it really felt like that it would really kind of felt like a community street festival, like
When was it?
an old New York block party
Like a
kind of
block
thing.
Awesome.
party?
Awesome.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
still alive here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
When was that? So when's the
That
next
was
one?
that was November 18th.
November
So
18th?
it'll be next year.
Okay.
Yeah, around
And
that time. Yeah.
And it's the same thing, Miami Gras and Deck the Walls?
Miami Gras is a festival kind of it's the same base where
Okay.
we shut some area down and have a party,
Yeah.
but it also we are still working on the details, but that is going to be something where we celebrate dancing, and instead of not just art but also art and dancing.
Okay, and that's around the same time next year too?
That's in end of January.
End of January. That's coming up.
That's coming up.
All right.
Yeah. Check
All right.
it's on our website.
All right, check the website, which is concretebeachbrewery.com.
Brewery.com. Yeah.
And for the live, are you live anymore? We're here, 24th Street, 2435,
325.
24th,
325.
Too many beers.
Too
Yeah.
fly.
Northwest 24th
No more
Street.
of that into this guy.
Get it right.
Where are the
Come
cue
down.
cards?
We're
Where's
gonna
the-
have we're gonna have a stand-up show in a little while. So come down, enjoy some of these great beers. These are really great. So far, your favorite, Anna?
I like Havana.
JC, your favorite?
Still Venom.
Chico, have you been trying? No, Chico's
I'm not sure
has
that-
an
I tried
electronics.
this one and this one.
All right.
The tan.
I kind of like
What
the
is this
lighter
called
one. I go for the
again?
lighter one.
The
Which one you like?
The
Ruthie?
Tangerica.
Yeah, the Tangerica.
Tangerine wheat
Tangerine.
IPA.
That's pretty
That's
good.
our
You
yeah.
like
Yeah.
it? As a
It
non-beer
has a
drinker.
nice
Oh,
smell too.
wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
there's
we
one.
use two different kinds of tangerine. We use the juice and we use the peels. So yeah, in two different stages. So you get
Because
all
like
of the tangerine.
it's,
Yeah.
you can kind of taste it,
Yeah.
and then it kind of turns a little bitter. So I think that's from the peel.
That's from
I'm
no.
thinking,
That's also
right?
from the hops too, because it's an IPA.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's good.
You have one here on draft that smells like a bouquet of roses.
Oh, Violet Jane.
Curious about
Violet Jane.
What is that called?
That's a
Violet
lemon
Jane?
lavender wit.
Oh,
That's a very interesting
And
mix.
so yeah, that one was kind of like that's another thing. Is like where it was like, well, I haven't seen a beer like that before, so
Yeah.
let's try
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
so it really just kind of came out of like let's try and make something extremely floral and kind of we were trying to try and make it in the summer, and it just kind of got delayed,
Yeah.
and then we ended up making it
Until
now.
when? Till,
and so,
Valentine's?
but yeah, right.
that'd be the best time.
but it would be good for Valentine's, right?
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
but the best thing about Miami is that that beer will be good all year round. So
Yeah, it's a very interesting mix. I tried that one.
There's a coffee one. Have you tried it? It almost tastes like a coffee. It's like very, very, very dark.
that's our Sangre de Flor. Yeah.
Oh, Sangre de
That's
Flor.
it's
Sangre de
a
Flor?
chocolate hibiscus
love
porter.
coffee.
So it's it's actually because if you look at it in the right light, it's actually a dark beer that looks red because it's filtered through with red.
Hence the sangre.
Sangre de Flor,
For those
yeah.
who don't
Yeah.
speak Spanish, even though I said that mad American. Sangre.
Sangre.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so far my favorite is the danky one that you said. I
Oh,
think
the
that's,
Stiltsville. The
We see it. It's all
Stiltsville?
gone.
Yeah, that one was really good. I really like that one.
It is.
All right, and how? Let's go back to the comedy thing. How did you first get introduced there? Are you a big stand-up comedy guy or what?
Oh, I don't do the comedy. Oh no,
Well,
no,
I
yeah.
know.
He just
No,
likes to
no,
laugh.
Well, with that one, you
I
sure
only
did.
do like one thing good, and that's it.
Well, but as a
yeah.
fan, are you a big fan?
Oh
of
yeah,
stand-up
no, I'm
comedy?
a huge fan of stand-up comedy. Like I was watching stand-up comedy for a long.
Who's your
long
favorite?
time, and it depends on the time. Like
You're
right,
an LA guy though,
like,
so
I'm
I'm
in, yeah.
LA comic.
LA, I really like Bill Burr right now. He's one of my
Okay, yeah,
favorites.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he lives in LA.
He lives in LA. He went to New York and everything like that.
Yeah, we just send him some beer.
You know,
You'll
right?
come down.
Right? Yeah, he'll come.
Yeah.
I'll guilt him into coming to Miami.
Right.
Although he's he'll probably roast out here. He's a redhead, so
redhead,
yeah,
yeah.
he roasts pretty well.
Yeah, very, very, very
Yeah.
well. Yeah, but he lives in LA. That's a desert
Yeah.
too. Out there.
Oh yeah. So yeah, he was one of the first ones I started listening to.
Okay.
Another guy, Patton Oswalt, was another one I really first started listening to. And I always had the Comedy Central channel on, like
Okay.
when I was a kid. Like that was my favorite channel.
Nice.
And so they had like this little.
Presents?
Like, I can't even remember. What was it?
Comedy Central presents.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah,
that little
like a
that show. They
half
had
hour
three
one?
comics. Yeah, half hour. They always have like three comics do a
Uh-huh.
quick set, and that was it. And so that was what I grew up watching.
So you just
Yeah.
decided, hey, now that I got my own spot, let me just.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. It's part of our. We have a whole staff here, and we're like, yeah, let's just do this. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's really great because I was talking about this yesterday. How there's no more comedy scene here in Miami.
So true.
They,
I didn't. Oh, really? I didn't.
Yeah, they had a Miami Improv in Coconut Grove, and then they had one at the Hard Rock Cafe, and they shut both of them down
Oh,
for
really?
some mysterious reason. But, there's really no good places, or even places that are attempting to bring it back. So everyone who comes down here is like Kevin Hart. He goes to the AAA, of course.
Right.
With
Yeah.
their arena status.
Right. They're
So-
they're coming for the big show.
Yeah. So the fact that you're doing this, like having a night here, is great for local comics and local
Yeah.
talent. You know, and
Yeah.
what do you? How
And
you
they're
feel
good.
about
They're
it?
they're good
Yeah,
too.
you just
know,
gotta
and
keep
it's-
doing it,
Yeah.
and then people, come.
Yeah, like
They'll laugh with you.
like I forgot who one comic said that like he'd rather learn how to become a neurosurgeon than try to start again. Because it's just you gotta like I
It's
get
hard, but you
yeah
gotta keep going, and sometimes there'll be dead nights, sometimes there'll be
right
good nights.
you get the
Yeah.
wrong
You
gotta keep
crowd
going,
and you're
right,
just
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
oh man they're not laughing.
He must not know
Yeah.
about brewing then, because
Right.
I'd rather learn how to brew. Yeah. So all right. So who's your favorite local comic?
Local comic, I haven't, I haven't really like kind of started to follow anybody local, but I'm looking forward to kind of really getting into it here, and we've only started doing this, and I've actually trusted we have our social hall team here that really kind of is finding the right people and trying to get everybody here. And
Yeah,
so,
I came to the last one, man. It was cool. I liked Chris Celio.
Chris said
I
it.
try to get him on the podcast too, but he's too cool. Check him out. Hopefully,
We'll get him
I
out
see him
here.
today. I'm
Right?
gonna force
You'll
him.
we'll get him out
trip
here.
him. You'll be
I
like, hey
definitely
man,
will.
just wave the mic. Hey, I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, another thing, Eric, is like a lot of people that are from Miami, but comic-wise, like you would expect them to come out and show love. So like we come in, we ask
Right.
people. We routinely ask comics to come out, and
Oh god,
if
yeah,
they can,
yeah.
they can.
That's awesome. Because like I feel like that. If you're a comic now, you gotta leave. You gotta go to LA or Miami.
Yeah.
But
true.
now it's
Sucks.
now I think that now that people people are kind of I don't know, like it felt like maybe like 10 years ago there was even like in the suburbs there was nowhere to like go and hang out, but now it just seems like everywhere, even in the suburbs, there's like places to go and hang out, and
In
now
LA?
that that's happened in LA, New York, and now in here in Miami too.
Oh,
It just
okay,
kind of
yeah.
was like it was almost like the suburbs were families only, but now you can go and have a drink and also now go see a show in this, and so now I think that that's spreading out, that it's going to be very much more in common.
Yeah, and it's great that you guys are one of the first to do it here in Wynwood, and I think it'll only get better. I mean, you have a talent manager and coordinator for all this, I assume, right?
Oh yeah.
So
and luckily everybody here is nice, so no one's no one's booing, So
Oh yeah, they're, because there's nothing else like it around here.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, and they're nice people. But whatever we can do, I'm a huge comedy fan. Whatever we can do to help with that as well, like as far as anything we could do, we're at your disposal. As we have a whole crew here. This is our MDC students. We all have our own individual dreams. I think Anna even has a clothing line, don't you? What do you? No?
I work with fashion.
Oh yeah. Well, as you can see, she's very beautiful. She can model. She can put on one of those deck the wall shirts, and just promote.
Give her a Ken
perform.
shirt.
Yeah.
But whatever you guys need us to do, for sure.
Absolutely.
Just pay us some beer.
Right? Oh, I don't know if we have enough. That's too much.
Yeah, right. What's up with these tops? Look at these things.
I know.
Yeah, so
They're
they're
so nice.
they're recyclable, and they're better.
they?
And they're better than the rings.
Right,
So
because the fish
Yeah,
can't be
and,
stuck in
and then
these.
and then also you can pick it up with one
Right,
finger and they
Unless
won't
it's like
tear.
a Jewish
yeah,
fish, you can use it as a yarmulke.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's real nice.
Yeah, so actually, that's a great thing about the tops, and then the cans are aluminum, which is a lot more. It's a lot easier to recycle aluminum than it is glass.
Is it?
And it's also we also put it in recyclable cardboard to ship it out. So it's it's all we try to kind of be conscious about what we're doing here too.
And that costs more, obviously, right? To do all that as far as.
Yeah, just like anything with a little bit more quality.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny with organic food. It's like, isn't the allure about it that they don't do anything to it?
Kind of.
So they give it to you, it's
right.
like $60.
This is more. Yeah, this is
If
more.
I could give it to you, that's $60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's ethically right, right?
Right.
It's the right thing to do. And
Well, and then cans are arguably better for beer too because they don't let light in. So you know, it's if you light it's called skunking. It can spoil beer. That's why beer bottles are brown. Most of them is that it keeps the light out. But these give no light. You can't even, you know, there's no light going in those.
Wow, okay.
It keeps it a little
Didn't
bit
know
fresher.
that.
Yeah.
There was a stigma
That's
way
something
back, like in the, you know, way back when craft was starting, that you had aluminum flavor, but that went away.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
ask.
there was a stigma.
It was like glass versus
There was a big
versus
debate.
can.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still accurate.
What
Not
did you hear?
anymore. No.
I heard that well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a professional, but I heard glass was better, and that you get like that aluminum taste. But I don't know with technology nowadays how that battle is going.
I think it was just kind of like one of those misplaced fears, like where people were like, "Oh yeah, I definitely taste it." Like, you know, you tell someone, "Hey, don't you taste that aluminum?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, I do, man." Like,
Yeah.
and
It's all in your head.
You know, it's all in their head.
It's
and
so
then-
funny how
Right.
people even made it a battle, glass
Right.
versus a can.
Right.
Why can't we just enjoy what we want to
Right.
enjoy
Yeah.
and not trash the other side of it?
Right. Yeah.
It's just
Probably because glass, you know, is more expensive. They want to make money off of that. So, you know.
It's true.
I can't even. What do I prefer? I don't really care, to be honest.
It
I,
doesn't
you know what I
matter.
do
It
care?
tastes
I'm
the
a-
same to
I'm
me.
gonna say it like this. The only thing that I think tastes better in glass is the Cokes. Like if you drink a Coke in glass compared to a Coke in
Well,
a
because
can.
I think most of Cokes and glass
come
are
from
they're
overseas.
the Mexican
Mexico.
Cokes,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
are made with real sugar still. And so
Exactly.
yeah, it's like
Real
yeah.
sugar, quote unquote.
So and it has nothing to
Booger
do with
sugar.
the glass.
right.
It's
It's
just,
just it's a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do prefer craft over everything. To me, craft, like draft. I'm sorry, draft.
Oh, draft.
Draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, craft.
I was like, I hope so. You're here.
Yeah,
right?
right.
Like-
I got a little
Like, duh. You should have seen the way Eric just looked at me right now. Dude,
He's like, "Dumbass."
no more savage. Draft beer to me has a fresher, I don't know, taste and. Is that a stigma? Is that a real true thing that the drafts that are made somehow like barrel wise is better than?
No, I mean the only difference is how they're being filled.
Okay.
They all come from the same tank, let's say, and you know you see them right there. Those kegs right there, that's draft. But at the same day, we'll fill a keg and we'll fill a can.
Okay.
And but again, the good thing about kegs is that they can hold beer under pressure and they can hold it with no light.
Okay.
And when you have it under pressure, it kind of keeps the CO2 in there a little longer. You know, these can't really handle a lot of pressure,
Yeah.
but the keg will handle more pressure, and it will also. So it kind of does it all, but at the same time, it all depends on how clean. You know, if what you're drinking it out of afterwards. So you could have the freshest beer in the keg, but like if the line, like that's why we clean our lines here like every week.
Okay.
So because if the line's dirty, then it doesn't matter because
True.
you're gonna taste that, and so.
Right.
Yeah.
But here, there's no cleaning the lines. It's just I got this beer. This came out of the tank, and this is what it's gonna taste like.
It's just true. That's true. That's
And
true.
there's that sound too. You don't get that sound with draft.
And he has to say
That's a beautiful
Havana.
sound, right? Let me tell you, it really is.
Refill.
It must be so rewarding to come to your bar and to see people drinking your beer.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it just like
It
a dream
is.
come true to you?
Yeah. It is so. It is just as great as kind of like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It's
Sex?
It's, no. No.
Jerk,
So much pleasure.
masturbating.
Yeah, it's you know what, it's a rewarding because like I said before, it's an all day job.
Yeah.
And you come a lot of days our team we come out you'll see us at the bar after a shift having having our beer and it's just like, oh man, we're probably sweaty, we're probably covered in old beer or something like that, and you just you see someone across the bar going like for the first time like, oh hey, what's good here, and then you have your staff go like your public house or social hall, and they're like, well, we have this is new, this is what you like, and then they really talk you through the beers, and then they try it. And they're like, oh, this is good, and then that's like where you are. That's the whole
the best
goal.
part.
Like that's the goal
Yeah.
is like that you can make, because like at the end of the day, you just want to make something that people will like.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Definitely, it's an art.
that's
Right,
at
it
super
is.
at a super
Great.
base level. It's just that's why beer is popular, because luckily a lot of people like it, and
Yeah.
it's you but you have to keep that going.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, awesome.
That's really nice.
Mug wise, you guys have your own mugs yet?
We have pints.
Pints.
So,
Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I saw the shirts back there.
Mhm. And we have two
Absolutely.
different style of pint glasses, and we also have we used to have these, but now they're a little bit wider. So now we have these are 10-ounce pours. So they're called
Okay.
tulips.
Tulips?
So therefore, like higher alcohol beers, you put a little bit in there. So like you ever get a drink at a bar and it comes in a smaller glass,
Right.
and you're like, what the hell? It's usually, oh no.
No more samples for you.
Yeah.
Cutting this guy off.
Break time.
Too many samples. Oh yeah. So.
But it's usually because it's a little bit more alcoholic. So they don't want you drinking so much you get down.
I mean, honestly, Eric, like looking how far you've come, it just leaves more inspiration for us all. We're all filmmakers. There's a lot of people here working hard for goals, and
and you guys are
none of
doing,
them as cool as
an
this.
awesome thing too. It takes a lot of guts to just say like, all right, people are gonna want to listen to me, and go for it.
You just got to do it.
And then just be like,
Yeah.
and then I'm sure. Do you feel that reward too when people are like, oh wow, people actually do want to listen to me? Do you
Actually, I don't give a shit.
We really don't. That's why it's called N.O.G.A.S.
Tell them the acronym. Tell them what it means.
Oh, the acronym. Well, our show is called N.O.G.A.S. It's an acronym. No one gives a shit.
Right.
But it's not because I don't care. It's because people kind of have this self-loathing type of human nature trait that doesn't want to see that another person really succeed in their dreams, so they kind of ignore what you're doing. Do you find that here sometimes?
Oh,
No, I mean,
Well, you have your own bar,
you see
so I don't
people,
kiss
you
your
see
ass,
people, you see people, they just kind of, some people can be jealous and envious,
Yeah.
but, at the same time, it's just the people you surround yourself with too. And
Yeah.
usually if you surround yourself with the right people, then, you're getting that reinforcement anyway. And you're also giving the reinforcement too. Because if you're, you could be, people could be just as happy about you, but if you're also on the other side going, well, that's not gonna fail, and then every time, then you're that guy. So
Well, you gotta have haters.
Yeah, you got-
Then you pop it.
Right?
Then you good.
Keeps you going, right?
Exactly.
Have you? Well, you have a good team around you. Thank God. It's very hard to find a good team, But do you have someone to do your dirty work per se? Like as far as or do you have your own on switch when you need to get to 10 as far as business side of things go? Because this is a very competitive.
It is.
type of thing.
That's the thing. It's about the people that you surround yourself with, and we all are 10s. That's
Really?
the thing. And we are. My guys. These guys here that I work with, and the brew team, and then our public house manager, our general manager of the whole brewery. They're all our marketing manager, our sales teams. They're the reason that we are where we are now is because of those teams, and it'll never be because of one person. And it's
Plus,
because
each
of those
one
teams.
of them believe in this.
Right.
They believe in
believe
this.
in
That's
it,
why.
and it's never ever because of one person. And so if everybody's on the same cylinder, then that's great. That's what we strive for. And
Absolutely.
and you can't be afraid to just say, hey, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. There's plenty of times where you felt that. And you have to voice it out.
Oh yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it's just you always there's always kind of like that. All right, you can yell at me, but you have to have a good reason, that kind of thing. And that's what we kind of, or I can yell at or I can be yelled at, but it has to be for a good reason.
Right.
So.
Oh man. So I take it you're not married because you don't get yelled at.
No, right? Yeah. Maybe that's the reason. Though.
Yeah. So you know how to differentiate
right.
Who screams at you or why. But that's I was actually talking to Chico. Remember we had the discussion about how people in the business world, and I mean real business world, they can get loud and be a 10 with each other, but it's never really anything personal when it comes to business.
Right.
As long as it's about
As long as you-
taking whatever they're working on to the next level,
Right.
it's good to be passionate about what you're saying, and
Very passionate.
and sometimes I guess you could be a little sensitive about it, or on the other side you could be seem like a prick about it, but at the end of the day, it's all a common goal.
Right. Right.
Exactly. And you talk to anybody who brews beer, is in a brewery. It's like no one was like forced to get into it. Like there's no guy that's like, man, my dad was a brewer, so I have to be a brewer.
FML.
It's like and so everybody here came in because they have a passion for it. Now that means that people are always like, passionate, which is great, but it also turns into like, wait, then you just take a step back and you like realize that everybody wants the same thing. It's just kind of like, okay, well then we get going on this, take a step, and then we get back on the same page.
Absolutely. Now, in order to work here, what else is another requirement is I take it DUIs, or you're lenient about DUIs, right?
No, we're not.
That means you're good at your job.
No, not really.
Are you fellas? Well, I got 3 DUIs. That's it? Yeah, you're hired.
Yeah. You seem like a responsible person.
Yeah, you're the perfect person for the job.
It's as much we look for experience first and foremost, but it's also about culture too. Like the same thing. It's like you have to be able to. It's because it's such a that passionate industry. Kind of you gotta mesh with the team, and if you're grinding against the team for the wrong reasons, then it's just not going to work.
And it's going to show eventually.
Right, it'll show.
You guys share the same passion.
Right. It always does.
Right, and then people end up leaving or quitting, and it's just like that kind of. You don't want people to be unhappy at work, especially here, because it's not. Again, it's a job of of passion.
True.
Right, and come on, we're in the business of beer.
Right.
What is there to be upset about or unhappy about?
Right.
So you couldn't come in not knowing anything about hops or barley, huh?
Oh, you can. I mean, we have. We've had. Some of our staff just they come in and they've worked other jobs and they were like, I don't really know a lot. It's like for the right jobs, we're like, okay, it's okay. You're gonna learn here.
It's their heart. They have to have the passion. And they have to learn. They have to want to learn, basically.
Yeah, and then those are the guys that the guys and girls that stick around.
Right.
They're like, okay, I want to learn. I want to learn beer.
Stick around for a long time. Right.
Yeah. And you're like, oh well, and then look, and then people are
degree wise. Any degrees?
That's the thing is like some of the best thing about the beer industry is that you still can get your foot in the door just with either experience, know-how, but there are brewing degrees now.
Okay. Are there?
Yeah, there are brewing degrees. Yeah. There's a few programs. There's one in Northern California. There's one in Chicago. There's one in here in Miami. It's called the Master Brewers Academy.
Any of them sponsored by AA?
Right.
The AA
maybe maybe the opposite, right?
Yeah. Oh, look, this is one of the comedians right here, I think.
Oh yeah.
Right? This is your main MC guy?
Yes, yeah.
Call him. Chris, can you call that guy right there? I think his name is Danny. He's at the bar. He's a comedian. Let's get him in here.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Before we wrap up with Eric, because I know he has...
What's your tolerance since you're around beer all the time?
Good question.
Right?
Yeah.
You I know you have a number at least.
It's not like a number. It's just like that moment where you're like, oh no, like.
Oh no, it's too late.
It's definitely higher, and you got you just have to be more responsible because of it. You're like, okay, that hey, this is one beer for me, this is 2 beers for me, and it may be 1 beer for how I feel, but I know that I've had 2 beers, and you just always have to know that hey, this is you always, and then that's it's funny because my mom, when I took this job, said, does this mean you're an alcoholic? And I was like, no. I was like, well, actually, it's like, actually, no, because if I was an alcoholic, I'd probably be fired. So
endless free booze.
And
exactly. Do you ever have any more blackout days?
You never know.
You just never know.
Not at work, never at work, but
when you are,
I think I'm still young enough,
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
But it's just, but you also know to be responsible and be more responsible because of the industry that you're in.
Right.
Is that it's we don't, I'm not just representing a brewery, I'm representing, the beer industry too, where it's like, man, that guy can't keep it together, why, it's like, who can, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
And, there's a reason why we always say drink responsibly and everything, just because, it's you don't want to be dumb,
Right.
And now, especially now with Uber and everything, like there's no reason,
Uber's, has helped avoid so many DUIs and crashes and stuff. It's great. But how many beers do you go through a week? Let's say then.
A week. Well, I always have at least one a day. Just throughout my day.
There you go.
Throughout my day, just to make sure that and a lot of it is quality testing and making sure that the beer is what I want.
Obviously.
It's still a science.
Dude, if I was you, I'd have a shirt that says owner and just walk around.
Well, I'm not the owner though. I'm not the owner here. Yeah, I'm just I'm
the main brewer.
I'm the head brewer. Yeah.
That's, I would put that
head brewer.
And then the back brewer. So it'd be a question. The shirt. But that's awesome.
With you want me to put hash marks on it too?
Yeah, sure.
Each one.
Exactly. Awesome.
Yeah. No, it's just about being responsible.
Right. So how many guys do you have in this Walter White type of setup then?
So in our production staff we have 6 employees.
Okay,
so
6 employees.
And then myself.
One to do something, one to run the can?
No, that's the best thing is that we in bigger breweries you'll see people differentiate their job and be like, no, I'm only going to do the canning line, and I'm going to do the canning line.
Okay.
Here, if you're hired here, you know how to do everything.
All right.
And
Yeah.
so we're completely rotatable. We can move around. Everybody knows how to help the next guy.
That's
Okay.
really
And
good.
that's kind of like
so
what we,
important.
and that's what keeps everybody on the same
Exactly.
page.
Yeah, you
too,
can help each other out. You
'cause-
can't be like throwing everything on one person.
Right.
Work
Absolutely.
together.
And then the worst thing is like if somebody calls in sick, like
Right.
who's gonna help him out?
Right.
I'm sick. I'm hungover.
Yeah.
right.
You were just here yesterday. Exactly.
It's your fault.
That'd be my first weekend.
Beer.
Eric,
See, then you wouldn't last.
Eric, thank you so much.
Ah,
man.
thanks for coming
Thanks
down.
For hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for
anytime.
making all this happen.
Yeah.
For sure. Anytime you want to come, like I said, whatever help you need. If you need a sample person again,
Yeah.
let us
You know.
know.
We're
and
all here.
Quality control. Quality control.
Quality
Yeah.
control, right? Exactly. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're at address one more time.
325 Northwest 24th Street,
Northwest 24th Street.
Wynwood.
Right. Wynwood. Come on down. We're about to have a comedy show around 8 o'clock. And speaking of comedy, we have the MC again.
Yeah.
I was here last month and I seen this guy, very funny. Come on in, Mr. Danny, I believe.
Yeah, Danny Miami.
There you go. How you doing,
Danny
sir? What's up,
Miami.
buddy?
Good, man. What's up, dude?
I'm D. Yeah, I'm
up,
the
D?
Let's switch.
host of JC. Anna, you can stay. Yeah, we'll go on. Yeah, I'd rather Anna. I'd rather Anna here. All right. Anyways, Danny, talk to us, man. You're a very funny dude. I was here last month for the
Thank you
comedy
very
game.
much, man.
Danny Miami. So tell us where you're from first.
What do you think about? I rap pretty hard. Like
Ohio.
305 till I mother love and die. That's how I've always been. And so yeah, I'm Danny Miami Reyes, and I hooked up with Yo Miami.
Okay.
They got actually a space up in Little Haiti called I think Yo Space. They got a gallery and stuff there. And he hooked up here with Concrete Beach, one of my favorite breweries. And was like, we got a nice comedy show going on, so we're gonna do it every last Tuesday of the month. Last call comedy show. Show usually gets going around 8:30, but we tell people get here at 8 because then again we're in Miami.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
so it is what it is. It's Miami.
The show starts at 9.
But yeah, last call comedy show. It's a blast, man. It's free. You get to have some great beer here
Yeah.
at Concrete Beach.
How long you been doing comedy for?
Bro, I've been doing it for over 10 years, but
Yeah.
performing almost my whole life. Yeah.
Always here in Miami, or you ventured out?
Comedy-wise, here in Miami.
Okay.
Mainly here in Miami.
Ever been out there to the store, to the cellar, any of those spots?
No, not really.
Yeah,
Just-
that's the real test there.
No,
man.
that's the definite test.
Yeah.
That'll be one day eventually, but I don't know. I really do love Miami in this sense of like family-wise, the city, everything, like everything about it. So like, there's always been opportunities and stuff.
Sorry.
There's always been opportunities maybe to move out and like maybe check out LA, Chicago, maybe New York or something like that. But like I was in New York for a little bit but I was acting and shit, and I did the whole talking,
Extra.
talking
heads?
going out, doing the auditions for agents, holding down 2 jobs, trying to do that starving artist thing, and it's
Yeah.
like, you know what, for that I'm gonna do it back in the 305. Like
Okay.
so and help cultivate what we got down here. You
How
know?
long
And,
you did that for?
that was about 10 years ago now.
You did it for 1 year, or how long did you do it for?
What do you mean, the New York thing?
The New York
1
thing, yeah.
year. 1 year. My
1
brother
year?
still lives up there in Brooklyn, so like I still love New York and I go visit a lot. But for me to live there, I don't know, man. It's a
Yeah.
great place to visit, but for you to live there in that grind, like that's got to be your city. It's got to be your home. You know.
Yeah.
I don't feel at home there. That's why I was kind of like I got to find my own home again. I came back. You know.
Okay, all right. Well, as far as comedy, the connections you've made so far, what has been your biggest accomplishment as far as comedy and just
Comedy?
maybe who you opened for or something like that?
I mean, my whole thing about comedy is more about the amount of people that I've met and seen come up just because I remain local. Like a lot of people have started down here in Miami and gone elsewhere, and then you start hearing names pop up later on. And some people will be like, oh man, like I wish that was me. I'm like, oh man, that was cool. Like for me, it's a different thing. It's like I was there when this dude like did his first stand-up. Like I brought him up, like as a host in a room down by the falls in a warehouse that we painted as a black box. It's like artistic vibes. That's like where
And now
really
you won't even return my calls. Is that the type of thing
well,
you
no,
feel
not
too, or-
even, bro. I don't. Half of the time they get so busy and stuff, and I'm in my own grind. Be like, gotta survive too, dude.
Yeah.
It's tough to pay the bills off of just doing
Yeah.
comedy gigs. You know, it's
sure.
more of just for the love of getting up there, and it's also therapeutic for some of us, man. I mean,
Yeah.
not just me, but I stay local. But there's some South Florida comedians that drive all over Miami, Broward, West Palm, Boca, just to hit up a little 5 minutes in some random bar, random place, and they do 3 or 4 of them in a night sometimes. It's insane, man. So you gotta respect some of the people that come through and do that.
There's nothing else here. Ever since the Improv's left.
No, that's where I used to actually be a server there, and then that's how I got my foot in the door, because I was a performer for that as an actor, and then as a server at the Improv, I got to see so many great comedians, hang out with them. Oh, dude.
Off the top, Eric's is Bill Burr, rightfully so. Who's
my
yours?
favorite top of all time is No Longer Living, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
That was because I come from the theater background world, so his stand-up to me was right up my alley, and everything in that sense.
Rest in peace to Robin
and just
Williams.
the spark that he had of anything he could take and just run with it. That was amazing. That was just like sunshine in a little box. It was awesome.
For sure, yeah. Rest in peace to Robin Williams.
Yeah, man.
Damn, I thought you were a comedian. You just killed the room.
My bad, bro. No, but anybody else? Okay, well, I mean, it's crazy experience. Like, I mean, Bobby Lee, I remember one time at the Improv.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome and nuts. But yeah, because the green room in the back, it was right where the servers used to get back and forth from the kitchen and the bar, and that green room, depending on the comedian, you could see some crazy things. And Bobby loved keeping it open, and then throughout the show, and it was just like 3 show nights. No, he would just walk around in like the tightest little boy underwears, like little red Speedos or white tighty whities, and just lay on this leather couch and just start whistling and calling at all the like waiters and stuff passing through. That's cool. A weird experience.
You too?
To everybody, dude. Yeah, everybody passed just to mess with everybody. But that's the kind of guy he was. Who else? Gabriel Iglesias was awesome. He was really, really nice. It was one of those people that kind of matched up to what you see like elsewhere or whatever. That was awesome.
Yeah, he was awesome. But as a server, do you even get to enjoy the shows? Because you guys are running around and like trying to be quiet.
Most servers don't, but I kind of dipped back into the server world from a theater performer view, and that already like was in my mind. So even as serving, like it was in the back of my mind. It's like, shit, I gotta listen to this 3-4 times a day, like the whole weekend. I'm gonna get to know their set in the sense of when audience laughs, when they don't, what works, what doesn't, what they tweak, because I get to see it back to back to back.
Picking up game.
I got a crash course. I got thrown into the trenches, and I was like, you better use it or not. Like you could do something with it. And I was like, screw it, I'll do it. And it was cool because I knew all the comedians and all the people hosting the open mics. And usually at the Improv, you had to bring people and stuff like that. And these guys kind of knew me, like, Danny, most of your people are working right now. They're the fucking staff, so just go on up and do your thing. And that's how I kind of just got my foot in the door. And from there, I was like, dude, I'm going to keep hosting down here and try to cultivate the scene down here as much as I can.
Hosting is a tough gig, man.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the toughest as far as the night, because you have to really, it's the one that you start off with while everyone orders their drinks and their food and stuff. So nobody's really kind of paying attention unless you're like really animated and getting their attention and stuff, and then you segue people. Is that what you rather do, or would you rather headline? What's your favorite thing?
I mean, at the moment, hosting, because it's what I'm doing tonight, Concrete Beach,
That's right.
But no, I mean, to be also now, hosting is really where the money's at too, because it's consistent. I like a little consistency in my life, you know. Oops, like it is what it is, but so that helps. But I would love to headline or something like that somewhere, but all that kind of just takes getting some exposure out there and getting people to check us out and getting a space and getting that hookup and all that. And you also need to, do that almost 100% full time and work with promotional teams and stuff. But
speaking of Concrete Beach, what is your favorite beer here that our man Eric here?
Havana Lager.
Oh, nice.
Why is that?
No hesitation.
Havana Lager.
Is that one open?
Yeah.
From when they brought it back, I believe
Jason
it was
Yeah.
Tropical for a little bit, right?
What's that?
It was a Tropical kind of blend.
That was a different beer.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We made a beer called La Tropical for a bit, and then we decided to move away. We were like, let's make our own
Version of that.
Like make our own kind of that old pre-revolution kind of lager.
Okay.
And, try and figure out what we can do.
That's kind of my go-to now. It used to be Stiltsville. I like Stiltsville just because
That's
it's
the
nice
one
and
that I
smooth.
like a lot.
That's and that those are our
yourself,
top
man.
two too.
Awesome. Thank you.
Little
Cheers,
foamy, I'm
dude.
sorry.
No problem.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. The last time I saw you last month, you did such an awesome job. Hosting is like I said, it's very hard. And excuse me. I commend Concrete Beach for doing this stand-up thing because, as you know, there's not many places out there anymore.
I mean, well, look at it right now. We're sitting here on a Tuesday doing this. You know what it is? It's like, and even I have
hard,
friends
man.
all the time. Oh, dude, I would love to catch your show, but let me know when you're on a weekend because I got this and this, or let me know when you got a weekend because I work or I got the kids and this. So I totally understand. So like you said, going back to the whole thing, like I would love to headline because then that means I got a weekend show, weekend gig, where I could be like, all right, all you mofos that said you couldn't make it, now you got to make it. Like it's on a weekend. But
I got the kids.
But it's tough to get these people out in the sense of still coming out on a Monday and Tuesday or whatever night, like a random weekday, because that just means that there's people out and those people out want something to do. You don't want people to be out and be like, Tuesdays suck, I'm never going out on a Tuesday again or whatever. Like you want people to come out on a Tuesday and be like, all right, stuff's happening on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Whenever I want to go out, there's going to be things happening.
Yeah,
So
and Concrete Beach is definitely the place to come.
Oh, hell yeah.
True.
But what I noticed was that your composure was solid, man.
Thanks.
Like, I watch a lot of stand-up comedy and all that, and I could tell the vibe in the room and when you read the room and all that. And your composure was solid, dude.
Thank you,
You know
man.
what I mean? For not having a spotlight on you and, for everything,
It's years of talking in bars, competing with the Heat in the finals, whatever Monday Night Football, whatever bars going on, whatever bachelorette party, whatever
It totally is
craziness.
like a boot camp then, right?
So, and I mean, I've never done the strip club, but that's the thing the comedians go up onto. Like, not so much in Miami because we have more of a bar scene than a lot of other places. Other places, it's like it's a strip club, and like these comedians got to go and perform in strip clubs.
You get
But
beer
and it
thrown
is
at
what it
you.
is. But I have been in shady ass bars down here in South Florida, and I mean, it is what it is. That's why I go back to, like, I respect so many of these comedians, these local comedians that really aren't so local because they travel all over the place just to get 5 little minutes.
Yeah.
Get those 5 little minutes, work on it again, get those 5 little minutes. I just hosted another room right around the corner here at 305.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, my bad.
My life is threatened. Please don't kill me.
My bad. My
That's
bad.
good. No, you're good.
My bad.
No,
But
you're
at
good.
another place out here in Wynwood, I
Natalie
performed.
has the damn scope on me right now.
But the thing is that these comedians, it's like you see them, you see these guys, and especially as a host, that's the other thing I like about being a host and like running rooms and stuff, because you see these guys day in, day out, so you get to see their set, and it's almost like you're there for the whole process. You're there for like sometimes you're there for the germ of the idea, and that's brilliant. Like when you see something happen live on the moment, and you're like, dude, he built a whole set around that night at Concrete Beach, for example, or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that random Tuesday, he was talking to that person at the bar, and boom, something happened in that comedian's mind where it made this whole joke.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I commend your composure from the last time I saw you. Now, with that said, who's your favorite local comedian?
Danny Miami Reyes.
Besides
Another
Who do
hard-working
you buy-
Freddie
yeah.
Stebbins. Freddie Stebbins, I love him because he's 100% I don't know if you guys.
he's not very liked here, to be honest.
Okay, my
no
bad.
negativity.
He's a little crazy in the sense just that he's been working at it for so long because he's been in the game like since like I was a server, for example, like doing his little gigs and stuff.
Yeah.
But
He uses props, and in the comedy world, that's kind of shunned upon, and he does a Spanish, impersonation.
well, but no, but I'm going back like you said, local, like Miami in that sense, like
Choose
true
another
flavor.
one,
100. I'll choose another. I'll choose another one.
We have another person here who killed
Chris,
me.
who's
Chris Celio.
Chris Celio. Oh, yeah, you guys know Chris
He's funny,
Celio.
man. He's
Chris
funny.
Celio's the man.
A killer 5. Killer 5.
I guess it didn't pop in there right away. I like John Gregory too. He's a funny asshole. But he really is. He's that lovable asshole. Like to some, maybe
Is he
he's
gonna
just
be
an
here
asshole. No, not here tonight. But he has done this room before.
Who we got tonight?
To be honest, I haven't even gotten the set list from Yuval yet. But I know we have Kyle Grooms. Actually, that's our headliner
boy.
of the night.
He's,
Dude.
supposed
Kyle
to come
Grooms
up,
is
yeah.
coming through. I guess like that's one of my favorite now too. Like he's local, dude. Like he came back, So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. That after being in the game for so long, seeing people come back like that is really, really
Yeah,
amazing.
we had
in
him on
sense
the
of Miami
podcast
scene.
too. He's from the Chappelle Show and all that.
Yeah, and he's like Comedy Central,
yeah.
so
No,
he's gonna be our
I'm
headliner.
talking
Oh, you're talking about me?
I
All right, yeah. Keep it going.
He's like, me? Yeah. I'm just like, this is a fun fact.
Chris Celio, I was actually the host the first time that he went up on a Thursday night at an open mic down south.
We
by
try to get him on. He's too cool for us though.
He's
he didn't
too cool.
respond.
He's too cool for
I was
school,
hoping
bro.
I'd catch him here to just guilt him into
Harass
coming on.
him.
But
It's
yeah.
great. He works with something that like most other people would see as a negative and turns it into a positive, which exactly is what comedy
Absolutely.
is. Dude.
Yeah.
It's that flip flop. It's
Definitely.
that whole thing of like go ahead, laugh at it. Like I
Yeah.
am. Like I'm inviting you to, which is cool, especially in this time, man. It's
Yeah.
like we need that.
I'm still like, it's one of the things that I want to do on my bucket list is to do a stand-up show because I feel that I'm miserable enough to be funny.
Do it, man. You don't need to be miserable to be funny, but it helps.
I feel like it totally helps, dude.
Well, it's kind of like
laugh at all
the
my
blues. It's kind of like the
problems.
blues, dude. Like I love blues. I love the blues. And some people are like, oh, the blues is sad music. It's like, no, man, because for you to have the blues, you got to be happy. You know what I mean? Like for you to have the comedy, you got to be sad. Like you have to have. Like it goes back to that. It's the yin and the yang. You know, you really need that balance. You need that symmetry in life in general.
Yeah.
And if anything, I've learned doing this thing for so long, it really is like that. Stuff that comes out of pain, and for you to get over it sometimes, you really got to address it. Be it breakups, deaths, or whatever in life, you got to move on, and the show does go on. I guess that's my theater background, and you got to push through it, and that's what helped me find the comedy, you know?
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Let's take a little swig of this again because it's so delicious. I've had a few already.
Can I try the tangerine?
Which one you want to
Yeah.
try, Anna?
Yeah.
Are we good? Do we have
I want to try the Havana.
extra
Let's
lunch or
switch.
something?
Can we get that Havana down?
This one?
That's 2 people already that said that.
This is Havana.
The Havana one? It's a good one, man.
This is the
Thank you.
tangerine. Well, yeah, I gave it. Havana.
Like I'm like,
Thanks.
it's like a minefield.
Tangerine or
I
whatever.
don't want to like touch.
Live, Concrete Beach Bar and Brewery, 24th Street in Northwest 2nd. I forgot the address again.
Oh my
the big
goodness.
cranes, by the big
I'm gonna
cranes.
take
24th
this.
Street.
No way.
Big ass cranes.
325,
23,
325,
325.
I don't know how you find your way
Northwest
home.
24th Street.
Northwest 24th Street, 325
It's like
Northwest.
305, but with a 2 in the middle.
Right, okay, there you go. You see, why didn't you come through with this type of?
Because I've heard it so many
Tidbits.
times already.
Now he's got a little ways to remember it.
Oh, it's just such a great time and a great ambiance. People are coming, people are showing up. We have a few people coming.
The weather's good outside. Everybody's
Weather's
outside.
beautiful outside.
Yeah, it's
This type
rare
of
that Miami
winter
is like
weather
that.
is
Yeah.
great. I was on the
It's
beach
dry
the
out.
other day, 80 degrees.
Nice.
Meanwhile, people in New
Up
York,
north,
my cousin, 20
freezing.
degrees, pale.
I'm glad to step away from the humidity for a little
Oh,
bit.
That's
We
true,
have it
true
all
that.
year
I'm
round.
with you on that one, man. But I'm like him. It's like that's another reason. It's like I did a like part of winter up there, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like living this, like I was like,
Can't
My
do it.
dream.
you guys
or
know other
Miami?
options exist, right? Like you don't have to stay here. Like, but it is what it is. It goes back to like you gotta love it. You gotta 100% love it, and that's why I was like, I don't 100% love it. Like maybe like 75, 80%, but like 100% Miami. Like,
But you know what's so
I have it all the
incredible?
way
That
on the
Right.
the cellar has become such a world-renowned name and spot to go to now for comics, and it's always sold out. I'm gonna be going to New York in a few weeks. I had to reserve tickets 2-3 weeks ago for the 18th around there, and even then it was like you can't reserve more than 4, and they're all sold out now because it's sold out every night over there. And they have a class where you could learn stand-up comedy and all that. But it seems like the comedy game has become like a rock star type of game and career now. You know,
I
and,
think a lot of like I guess for example Dane Cook back in the day, like he kind of elevated it to that rock star status in my opinion. Like comedians existed in the comedy world. There's been that comedian and that culture for a long time that we follow it if you're a fan of it, you know. But the ones that really put it in the sense of like girls thinking he's hot and this and that, and even dudes and bros being like, I want to be Dane Cook, and like totally people that are not comedy, you know, like we're all about it. And you had that, and that opened up the door to comedy in the sense of like, boom, it's this new thing. It's not something you have to keep in the shadows of bars and stuff. You could rock arenas, and then like, and it's been going on since before Eddie Murphy. You get me, like George Carlton, everybody. So. But in my opinion, I mean, I really love the local community scene, dude. I love I love knowing the person, like not just hey, what's up, all right, go on and off, and I trust me, I see him a lot, so it's cool knowing that little circle and stuff.
yeah, absolutely. Man. But it's just so it's crazy how big it's gotten, and the cellar is definitely one that I want to check out. The Comedy Store too. You know anything about the Comedy Store? You ever been out there to LA?
Never. I have friends out there though, but that was Pauly Shore's mom or something like that, I believe.
Pauly Shore's mom, Mitzi Shore. Yeah, she owns it. She's kind of old now. She doesn't really do the thing.
But
like
that's
that.
the whole like background or whatever to
Yeah.
it. But that would be a dream, man. That would be amazing. Like
Yeah.
for me, I would love more, in my opinion, New York, hitting up that scene. I've never done it, and even my brother living there, and I go visit him every once in a while, but I've never gotten the time to really go and hit it up. But I know people from here in Miami, local comedians, quote unquote, that like they'll go to New York and they'll do little gigs and try little rooms and stuff. And there's even been a couple people here from New York that are doing their own rooms, like this guy Petey that I know that's doing stuff, I think in the Bronx or something. A couple people.
Yeah. funny thing about the Comedy Store, I had a friend who thought it was an actual store for comedy stuff.
So you walk in, it's
sold
like, oh, you guys got
whoopee
gags?
cushions.
You got a whoopee cushion?
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
What do you think
that's
they
what I
are?
thought.
They sold whoopee cushions and stuff?
Yeah,
Like,
I need
geez.
2 rubber chickens, whoopee cushion. What else you got? Any fake mustaches?
First,
Fake
Freddie
mustache.
Stebbins, he needs a few.
Freddie Stebbins, he has them, bro. That's the thing. That's the,
Yeah, I got this order here for Freddie Stebbins, 2 rubber chickens.
at La Casa Los Trucos, that's where you get them.
That's a
Jeez,
Google.
yeah,
That's
I
a
bet.
spot.
No, it's great. And this is another thing that I was actually talking to Kyle Grooms about. Starting something down here again, something real, something that I would want to go to, something that kind of resembles the Comedy Store and the Cellar, something that is ran by people who know comedy, and to bring it together, to bring a scene down here together again. I think it
That
needs
would
to
be
happen.
amazing. That would be amazing. And I just talked to one of the comedians we had on last night was Brian Coronado. He hosts at the Improv in West Palm Beach. So
Okay.
it's the same owners that had the Improv where I was a server at in Coconut Grove before it shut down. And I believe that they are going to bring it back here in Miami somewhere. I just don't know. And he's even telling me that they're in talks of bringing it back somewhere. I don't know where it is.
I mean, forget.
It is what it is, but
Listen,
in the
where's Natalie?
sense of
Forget
it's
the
something.
Improv.
It's something. It's something
It's
to go
something.
off of. I
I'm
wish it
talking
was
about
something
for
else
the
that we
people.
could make our own. That would
Yeah.
be completely different. That
That's
we then
dope.
become known as the Cellar of Miami or the whatever. Like
Why
the
can't that
Comedy
happen,
Store.
though?
Yeah,
Why
we
can't
need
that
that.
happen? Because the business owners aren't made. Like it's like I'm on an artist budget, man. Like I wish I could like rent out a spot and like that's all I do, and I make a legit little theater out of it. You know, like not something that's a bar tending to be a theater. No, a theater that has a bar or like
Yeah.
a comedy spot that's dedicated to that, its own thing, its own vibe, and I think that would be actually really really cool down here.
Well, I'm in talks and
of doing
have
something like that. That would be badass. That
Yeah.
would be amazing.
And you're a nice guy.
Danny
man.
Miami Rays, hit me up, bro.
Yeah, for sure. No, we're definitely
Just
gonna stay in
saying, that would be
contact.
amazing. That would be really great because, like I said, it's all growing something, and that would be definitely from the ground up, and something where it's like years down the road, when people are like, "Dude, I want to hit up blank in Miami." Like,
need
I was
that.
like,
We
I was
need that.
part of blank. It's like,
It will still
like,
be part of blank. you
That,
know.
that would be.
Or
that
will
would
we
be
have to
amazing.
go through Danny to get to blank?
Oh
you know
hell
what I
yeah,
mean?
man! That would be amazing.
Right?
That would be
it
good.
can happen. There's nothing here. Forget about the Improv. Let them stay in West Palm.
True that.
Forget about all
They've
these
been gone
other
for a while.
breweries. Let them stay over there across the street.
And it's funny though.
Forget
because
about
it
all of
took-
that.
It
It's
took
us.
them to leave for the comedy scene to really cultivate itself again because it had gotten kind of dried up in the sense.
Yeah,
of,
but it's
of it was
still
just the
scattered
same
now.
Improv. Oh yeah, it's super scattered.
Super.
But there is even everybody in the comedy scene sees it. Like it's just like, oh, there's this like resurgence, this spark going on,
Yeah.
especially down here in Miami. So
Maybe
that
we
would be
could
great.
maybe we could integrate some fashion from Ruthie and them. How much time we got? 10?
Ruthie has some
Okay.
nice shoes, by the way.
And Anna, we'll integrate comedy with the fashion.
It's like a
You know what I
runway
mean?
show comedy
Maybe
central.
do
That's
some
cool.
stand up with a model beside you and like so blah 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 and then
Miami stuff.
you know
With models,
the model
like, on
and
a
next-
catwalk?
Yeah, just rocking some
So,
local
some
designers.
comedians do that. They call it strip clubs. No, ours will wear clothing. That we're selling.
Awesome.
But no, it is what it. That'll be. I mean, you never know, dude. I've done a whole bunch of random stuff. I've done birthday parties. I've done weddings and stuff like
Okay.
that. So there and everything is weird. Every instance, even every open mic, even if it's at the same place, it's going to be different because there's a different crowd. There's different people. There's different comedians. So that'll be cool. I'm open to that.
All right, cool. And do you find it easier being like I don't know your marital status? You have a dog?
I had a dog, dude, but I had to
Okay.
get over it. I had to keep performing, man. He passed away recently. I had to get
way.
over it. Yeah, dude, I had to keep back going into it. It was like one of the nights that I had a comedy show, and it was what it was. I had to go through it, but I kept going. But now I
As
have
a
a girlfriend,
comedian-
though. More than a dog, I do have a girlfriend.
As a comedian, would you understand if I had a laugh track here? If I pushed the laugh button for your dog story, would that be okay with you? As a
That'll be
comedian?
okay, bro. Chico would respect that. He was that kind of dog. He was cool with that. He was cool with that.
He had good humor.
He was totally cool with that. More
Shout out
than
to
good
Chico,
humor,
then.
dude.
The laugh track. I'm gonna edit it in. Hey, Danny Miami, man, you're a cool dude. I always got a
you.
good vibe from you from the last time I saw you. You gotta go out. I'm not gonna take up any
Yeah,
more
I'm
of
gonna
your
go
time.
start getting ready for the show. But every
Yeah.
last Tuesday, check it out, Concrete Beach.
Yeah, we're gonna check out
Last
the
Call
show.
Comedy Show, Danny Miami Rays. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
Thank
cool,
you.
man. Likewise. So where can they find you? On Instagram and Twitter?
Instagram and Facebook. I'm not really a Twitter fan for some
Okay,
reason.
so
I've
at
never
Danny
jumped on
Miami?
the Twitter twatter bullshit,
Twitter
but
twat.
you know, it is what it is, man. Facebook or mainly Instagram, Danny Miami Rays. Hit me up.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Twitter finger.
Thanks,
Or
Danny.
MySpace.
Thanks, Danny. All right. So live, 325 Northwest 24th
Finally.
Street.
Yeah. You got it.
That's right, I got it. 8 beers later. Come check it out. The show's about to start soon. Well, in about I don't know, 45 minutes. So come down pregame and try one of these excellent beers. And just come on down. How much time we got? 5 minutes? Should we start?
Another 15.
Okay. Does Natalie want to bring anything else? See if she wants to bring in some of those cool gear and threads that they have in the front. Bring some of those in. See if we can model some and check it out. The place is still people.
There's people coming through now.
There's people coming. There are probably some outside that we can't see.
Yeah,
It's very nice
The life
outside.
size Connect 4.
Nice.
With the weather right now, it's good to be outside.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So Eric, what do you like to do besides brew and all that? Like, what do you do on your off time and off days?
Right now, it's like putting IKEA furniture together. But like,
I like IKEA though.
right?
It's good.
Like, I'll do that. Yeah. The Korkushush, whatever the names of them are.
So-
No, it's I cook. I like to cook.
Yeah.
I think it helps kind of like get the flavor, get like kind of my mind on flavors and everything like that.
Is beer always part of the recipe?
I was gonna ask
What's
that.
that? No, not always. No. But I do
It's a
try
an
to cook,
ingredient?
My boy always
Yeah,
throws like
right.
beer in his food and stuff
Right?
like
My
that.
grandma cooks
It's
some beer in
a
the
good
food.
thing to render, and it's a great like that and wine. They always work well together.
Yeah.
With certain
Right, right.
beers,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
certain foods.
Cool. So what's your favorite thing to cook?
My favorite thing to cook is I really like. I'm a huge like kind of ribeye fan. So I'll just
the
I have a
ribeye.
cast iron and a skillet, and I just do the ribeye on that. That's what I like to do. And then it's when I say I like it, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm good at it either. Though. So-
Yeah,
But you try.
Anna doesn't like
Right.
ribeye because she doesn't eat meat anymore, right?
I was
That's
waiting
right.
for it. Once we said
Right.
recycled, I was waiting for the vegetarian/vegan
I was
comment,
waiting
but
here. Yeah.
I don't think
Vegan,
I don't think I could do it. Like
No, I
I
can't do
totally
it.
understand it,
No,
but I
respect
don't
to
know.
the vegan
Yeah.
life, of course.
Yeah.
But I think being a vegan is a huge mistake.
I'm not a
Oh,
vegan.
no.
Steak with the bun.
Not a vegan.
Is that still on? Is that my?
Right.
No, you're a vegetarian.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes. But I always get shit for vegan for
Good
some
job.
reason.
Yeah. Well, that's all we need.
Well, the
here.
best thing about
Dope
beer
hat,
is
too.
that it's vegetarian.
Right.
So.
I could rock
That's
that.
true, yeah.
Thank you.
That's true. And matter of fact, speaking of ribeye, this is like the Last Supper table here.
Ah,
But there's no
no.
food. This is just
There's no food or bread or Judas.
Right.
Why don't you chew on this?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You can make.
Yeah.
There you go.
What? Oh, here's the merch. All right.
that's
Yeah,
that's
here we go.
tight,
All
too.
right, so here's the
Yeah.
merch. Deck the Walls, Concrete Beach. And these are some of the artists here. Fluke. And who else is on there, Eric?
This is just fluke. So
That's all fluke?
this is all fluke. It's one mural,
Yeah.
and that's if the can's kind of turned around
That's
right
pretty
there.
dope.
Yeah.
It's the whole
That's very
thing.
And now he's
dope.
doing another one of our walls
Yeah.
for Art Basel.
How do you find the artists? Like you said, it was a contest, right?
This year was a contest.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So now that fluke. I mean, it's just kind of. It's always, it's kind of funny that it's always like right place, right time with
Yeah.
a lot of, it's like, here's some of my work, and it's like, oh yeah, then this is perfect, and
This is your
it's
idea right here.
it's kind of weird, like you don't put like a Craigslist ad out, it's like
Right.
artists
Yeah.
want it, but like it's kind of always naturally kind of happens, which
That's
is nice.
awesome.
you know?
And I appreciate you putting out like local people,
Oh, yeah.
with this
Yeah, so
Look at this
comment.
one.
Yeah.
That's a
Drink
nice,
art, make beer. You totally made this one. You totally made this one. A Miami original right there, baby.
Okay, you
All
say
right.
that too.
Yeah, check
Nice.
that
That's
out.
nice.
What else we got? Is that it? And of course,
Those
my
are
boy,
your
things,
some
right?
nice history
Yeah.
maker. This, is, this has a lot of
Right.
meaning to me too. Yeah, awesome. Oh yeah, one last thing about the Last Supper. It would have been weird if there was people on the other side of it, right? If the painting,
Right.
they would have just been like this, looking back. That would have been weird.
Now we would have to have a camera like this.
Yo, they would have
and all this.
some neck pains in the other night. No.
Yeah, well, what else we got? Do we have anything else? Oh yeah, we have a giveaway. Did anyone? Well, yeah, people showed up. A couple people.
Anna showed up.
Yeah, all right. So Rocket.
I
This
showed
is
up.
JC. Take over. I don't know who this is. This is
This is
something you and
Mark's
Chris worked
brand. It's
on.
called Rocket Miami.
Let me
Okay.
see
If
that.
you want to check out a new commercial, shout
like-
with Duarte and myself,
Dope.
check it out when you have a
Reminds me
chance.
of
Pretty dope.
Something.
And we're giving some of these away for
Hold
some,
it up,
some people
goddamn.
coming out. We
You're putting it right here. Yeah, check it out. It's
I'm holding it.
Jesus.
Check it out.
Okay, and what's that about? That's another local dude.
That's
here?
ROCKIT Miami. Come check it out.
Rocket.
That's cool.
Rockets.
Rocket Miami.
Yeah.
Rocket.
Is it a double incendo or is it like
Yeah.
Rocket and
got
rocket.
it. Like we're rocking it and then rocket,
Rocket? Don't
check it out.
stop.
rocket. Now stop.
Okay.
Definitely, we hope you rock it.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. So we good on plugs now? We're good?
Yeah.
All right. Plugging back the beer because this is my ultimate sponsor right here.
How many have you had at this point?
I know, I was
I
going to
don't
ask him,
know.
like, are you tallying? We should have tallied.
Yeah, we should have on the wood here.
And then goes through stages. There's the times that he drinks, the times that he doesn't.
Right. I don't drink. I don't drink at all. These baby cups are kind of
Deceiving.
very deceiving. But win in Rome. You know. But yeah, this place is awesome, and hopefully we could do this every month. Next time, I definitely want to promote way harder. Depending on if Natalie, decides not to.
I mean, we
murder
haven't
me.
cursed.
Huh?
We haven't cursed the whole
Well,
fucking time.
Well,
Yeah,
a couple.
pending. But
Third strike,
I did.
JC.
I dropped
come
an
on
S-bomb.
down. What was that, Anna?
No, I said I dropped an S-bomb somewhere in
Did
there.
you? It's
yeah.
okay.
S-bomb.
It's okay. An S-bomb. All right. So yeah, thank you to Danny as usual. Danny Boy Radio, always with us in every production. Always with everyone in every production.
Everywhere.
Sammy for coming through. Tapia
Visuals.
Visuals on Instagram. Very good director of photography and cameraman. Marvin, very good coffee getter. He brings the best coffee.
Coffee
And,
boy.
Nah, Marvin, you're man, bro.
Marvin's
You
the
showed a
man.
lot of love, man. Appreciate it.
Chris Diarte, who's been coming to everything. He's not a student, but he's been coming to
Yeah, bro.
everyone's project. Of course you can. You didn't let me finish. This was a praise. I didn't
get the
say that in a
props.
negative tone, like, oh, Chris, stealing all my friends. No. No. Chris has actually saved me because a lot of productions that I don't go to, Chris goes to, and it's kind of, he's my friend, so it's like, he takes my place, so thank you, Chris. Oh, yeah, Nicole. Shout out. Yeah, she should be coming here. No, I take away my shout out. She should be here. The hell. JC.
Take away my shout out.
Yeah. I shoot it back in. JC, as usual. Plugs? Any plugs?
Got
What's the
nothing.
next projects? Besides your rocket thing and all that?
Well, I hope to start casting in January for my film, Search.
Okay. Search, all right.
And I'll give you more info when I got more info to let out, but I'll let you know.
Okay. Did you write the script? Is the script complete?
It's mine, yeah.
Okay, because there was another project
Disclosure
that Chico went to that
agreements
the
for
dude didn't
everyone.
even finish the script and was shooting.
It was a freestyle shooting.
Oh my God, I can't.
New
I can't.
concept.
I can't.
New concept.
I don't think I could do one of those ever again.
Improv script.
I need to see a script. I need to see have a shot list, something done.
Something.
Because
Anna, thank you very much for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, I didn't even know you were showing up. Thank you. Any
Surprise.
plugs? Yeah, I like being surprised. Thank you. Any plugs?
New projects coming soon from a project I'm working on, Muses of Miami. So
What's that about?
just supporting local artists around Miami who are, either throwing events or artists who are graphic designers, videographers, just supporting local art around.
So like a creative director type of thing? That's what you're trying to do, or like that's your role in it, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to do more of like the visual aspect of it. There's a
Okay.
team involved with, branding different people. So excited to work on that.
Cool. Where could they find you? AnnaBanana.com.
Muses of Miami is the Instagram handle.
At Muses of Miami?
Yes.
Okay, great. And of course, me at Latino Tarantino. Eric, where can they find you at? Besides here.
It's just statistically here.
You come here to find Eric.
Right.
No,
the
but
address?
we're
Hold up.
at
325 Northwest 24th Street.
Yeah.
Good
Repetition, isn't it?
Exactly.
No, we're on our website's concretebeachbrewery.com.
Okay.
Our Instagram is Concrete Beach FL, and then Facebook Concrete Beach Brewery.
Okay.
That's where we make all of our announcements, mostly through Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
The website has blogs and also all of our new upcoming releases and parties. And everything.
Okay, and merchandise too, right?
We got merch. Oh yeah, we have
Yeah,
we have
I
a
have a-
merch section. Yeah.
I have a magnet for my fridge
Oh, yeah,
that I've
yeah.
had for like a year.
Oh, yeah,
Of Concrete
yeah.
Beach, and I was like, man, I've been there before then.
Right. Yeah. And we give those out. We have those at beer festivals and everything like that.
Right. Yeah, that's probably where I found it.
It
Oh,
was
good.
almost like
magnets.
subtly you knew you had to come back. It's like,
It
that's how
was
we got
all
here.
destined.
That's,
It was all
yeah, right.
destined.
Like,
It's all connected.
every day you open your fridge, like I should do something. And then here you are.
Yeah, I feel like something hoppy today.
Right.
Great. Thank you very much for having us, man, and thanks for joining us. It was quite an experience.
Of course.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved
No, it was
I hope
great.
you had fun
Learned a lot of
Ruthie.
new things.
Right?
Yeah, Ruthie. You might have to turn Ruthie into a drinker now. I don't know.
My Lord.
You might start becoming an alcoholic.
That's,
Sip on
right.
that.
That's funny now, and then later it's like, oh
Yeah,
no, what have I
oh
done?
God,
That's
fuck me.
Ruthie, where you gonna be at? What's your next plans for the holiday?
For the holiday.
Yeah, what you got going on? People got to find you online.
Christmas. None of y'all getting shit. That's my financial situation. Okay, no. But yeah, Christmas is gonna be cool. And I have a family thing. You can find me at Park Ruthie. I got a couple projects coming up. If you wanna holler at me about it, you know where to find me.
As usual,
Yeah.
one of my favorite people to be around and models to shoot, period. At Park Ruthie, check her out. Come correct, come with a budget. And that goes for all of my people here. Come with
Right.
at least something.
Don't
at
be
least
cheap.
beer or something. From Concrete Beach only, though.
Right.
Chico, where you gonna be at? What's your next move, my brother?
Yeah, my next move is finish up these editing projects that I got going on, and then for the break from school, I'm gonna get back into writing some music. Probably make a couple of songs before I jump into my next semester.
All right,
You can find me at Dirty Day Chico on Instagram and Facebook.
that's what it is. All right, everyone. And with that, let's go on to the other room and check out the comedy show. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for live. Come check us out. Once again, 325 Northwest 24th Street, Concrete Beach.
Impressive.
Let's go enjoy some good comedy
Got
and good
it.
beer, guys. That's a wrap. Thanks a lot. Cut.